Good morning and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Sarah. I'm a high school biology teacher. It is 6:52 and I just walked into my classroom. So I'm gonna go drop my bag and go back to my duty. I just have to stand in the hallway until 7:08 when our first bell rings for kids to come to class. And today is a blue day, so I do not have students coming to the first class of my day. So I will be on my planning. So I'll check in with y'all after my duty. So it is now 7:20. My duty is done. I'm back in my class. So I know my department chair is coming to talk to me at some point, and I saw him in the hallways, but I'm assuming he's talking to one of the other teachers for right now. But he's gonna be on his way. So I am preparing for our rat lab practical today. So Level is going to be dissecting and being able to turn things in for that, and then Honors has their practical, so the graded portion. So I'm going to go set up the lab stations and make sure we're ready for this dissection. All right, so my department chair just met with me. Someone accepted a job at a different school, and so there's now just a ton of rearranging that has to happen with what classes we're teaching next year. And he offered me some stuff that I wasn't necessarily excited about, and so I just told him, like, frankly, I really don't want that. And he said that's fine. He's gonna take my opinion into the matters, and he's gonna kind of go back to the drawing board and see how things will play out. But that's that. So anyways, today in biology, so I have my level biology class next after my planning period. That's right now, and they're going to be dissecting rats. They have the pre-lab that they can do, and then we'll only have a few kids come and actually cut open the rats, and they can list some of the organs off to me that they identify for some bonus points. That's level. In honors, we've been dissecting the last 2 days, so they came in and they dissected their rats open, and today they're going to get some time to study, look at their rats one more time, and then I'm going to have a rat that is set up with pins in it and basically say, hey, what is pin number 13 pointing to? And they'll say that's the liver. And if they can get 10 of the potential 25 structures I have labeled, then they will get the points for a major grade. So that is what we're doing today. So if you're ooged out by rats, I will definitely give a warning before I show one on camera, but we are dealing with our rats right now. So I need to go to my other honors teacher and see how she's dissecting her rat for setup, because then I'm gonna have to come back and dissect the rats to get it also set up for the honors practical. But that is about it. We are so close to the end of school. School ends next Friday for students, and it's currently Wednesday. So we've got this week that's normal, and then next week starts our finals. So a lot of kids are trying to come in and exempt, and they are allowed to basically not take my final, and it's calculated as an exemption if they have an A with less than 4 absences or B and less than 3 absences and absolutely no discipline. So I've got a ton of students in my honors classes who are interested in exempting, but I can't sign off that they're exempted until I know their final grade, and I need to get this rat practical in. So I'm kind of on a crunch of, as soon as they do their practicals, I'm gonna go sit at my computer over there and be like, I'm typing it in, and then bring me your exemption form so that we can get the grades finalized and we know who's taking my finals and not. So yes, that is a lot of the things going on right now. I just feel like a little thrown off my rocker about the whole different subject next year potential, and it's like, it started to stress me out because I really did not want it, and I was very excited about my new bio team that's coming in and working with them. So yes, I'm just so like, please let things work out. But it is May 13th and it is not finalized what I'm teaching for next year, and that stresses me out so much because I'm a planner who is already wanting to plan next year's stuff. Like, I've already been looking at the first unit for all of these things. I have a meeting with next year's bio team next Tuesday. Like, we're gonna be meeting and planning. And yeah, it's not even finalized. I'm gonna be on their team. Oh my God. That stresses me out to a level y'all probably don't understand. Like, some of y'all may, but like, I'm so stressed about it because like, whew. But anyways, let's go meet up with my honors teacher and kind of deal with this dissection stuff, and I'll check back in with y'all when it's time for me to dissect my rats to prep them for the practical. Okay, so I just went and checked in with her, and I grabbed Dr. Pepper because I need it to just chill out. Be like, it's a happy Wednesday, okay? It's a happy Wednesday. Basically, I made these little pins yesterday. They're just pins with little pieces of tape on it with numbers. I've got 1 through 20. So I need to go, I have one rat dissected already. I need to go dissect a second rat just so I can be having more things, I think, ready to make it go a little faster for me. So we are going to go prep for the practical by dissecting a second rat, and then we're also going to prep for level, who's coming to dissect. They're going to be in larger groups in level because it's not a grade, versus in honors they were in groups of 4 for dissecting. Level's going to be about groups of 7 or 8 because a lot of them are not interested at all in it, and without a grade kind of forcing them to care about it, it's kind of hard to go force them to care about dissecting a rat. So let's go and set this up. We're gonna leave our drink over here in the clean side of the classroom, and let's go prep over there. I gotta go put on my apron and some gloves, but let's go. All right, so we've got our apron. Let's pull a little bit more hair back for all of this. Okay, it's all back. And then we're gonna put some gloves on. We're ready to get going. So this is your warning. If you do not want to see a rat, you need to go skip ahead. I will put it down right here when we are rat free from the camera. So let's set up this rat for the practical. So we got our rats from Flynn Scientific, and they come like this in a little bag. This one we're about to dissect. Yesterday, I dissected this one though, so this one's already dissected. So we're gonna go open up this one and pin it out, and then we're gonna dissect the second one. So I need to go grab a tray to go have my second rat on. 1 second. So for when my students were doing it, I found these in our back storeroom from obviously previously years. This is from Carolina rat dissection flip charts, and it's pretty cool. It tells them the different structures in it, and it told them how to cut it open and with visuals. So I used this when I was teaching my students how to dissect. Basically, I had multiple groups, and I would have one person from the group come up, and using this, I said, this is how we're going to do it. Now go back to your group and teach them and do it. So I did it in waves like that, and they sent a new person each time to see me show them on my rats and using the book to show them how to do it, and then they went and did it themselves. So I used this. Obviously, this is our rat dissection manual. I talked about this previously. We got this printed out. It just has all the information for our pre-lab. So it asks about the different body parts, stuff like that. And then also it has the instructions as they go through for like a little bit more information of you can see this now and stuff like that. So we had this at their tables. I gave them this packet, which has pictures of a real dissected rat. This is nice, but they didn't use this the most. What helped them the absolute most, and they loved having it. My kids wanted me to find a way to upload it because they liked it so much, is this one from Carolina. It has this side that shows the external features, and they're all numbered with a little bit of information. And then on this side, it has the dissected rat, and it has all the numbers of everything. So they found this very helpful when trying to identify everything. So yes, I highly recommend this. And the good thing is it's a nice like laminated cardstock, so it's really easy to wipe down. from their rat juice hands. So that's what we had. Now let's dissect our rat. So first thing we do, we're gonna put paper towels down. And then we need to cut open our rat. So after they got their rat out, I told them to identify their external features. We've got the vibration for the whiskers, the peanut for the ears. They obviously can tell gender. We've got a male right here. They've got the urogenital opening, scrotum, and the anus. Then it was time for them to actually dissect. So these rats are juicy. So we're just gonna drain it out. Get some extra towels. That's the thing that gets me. Like that's a lot of juice. So let's get rid of our rat juice over here for now. Put a new towel down. Right. Let's continue. So, I told my students they should then make the next cut under their armpits, and they kind of want to go pretty far so that we can get a nice wide open flap. You'll notice we also got to cut through the muscles at this layer, so they kind of have to go a little deeper than they want to. Okay. They're also going to do the same thing down here by the leg, cutting through the skin and the muscle layer, like so. Then you're going to take your pins and open the first side. We're going to do the same thing on this side to get this side open for us. So this is a good stopping point right here because we've only got the abdominal cavity open right now, and they can see that they've got the rib cage and the diaphragm is what is separating our thoracic from our abdominal. So that's a good point to kind of be like, hey, let's hone in on just the abdominal before we even attempt to broach the thoracic cavity. But let's just get it open right now. Now we're gonna cut into our thoracic cavity. So there's multiple ways you can do it. That Carolina book recommends kind of doing it like a triangle like this to cut it open. I prefer going just straight in down. So I tell them to make that first snip, and then they need to make sure they're pulling their scissors up so they're not hurting the heart or their lungs with their cutting. But I find that this created the best results for the students because the diaphragm was able to stay more intact. But then once they make that cut, you need to kind of get some of the fat and muscles holding in those to be pulled back. And we'll just use a pin to really pin it back. There we go. Same thing for this side. All right, now we have access to see our heart, we've got the lungs, we've got our thymus gland, but we still have this layer of muscle over our trachea. So that's the last thing we need to cut is this little layer, like so. And then there's always extra juice right there, so I like to dab that. All right, my eyeballs. There you have it. That's our dissected rat ready to be pinned up. So we're going to use our pins. We're just going to pin different features. We told them there's 25 they needed to know, but obviously we are only asking them about 10. So for this one, we'll do right there. That's going to be our whiskers. Find number 2. We're going to do the trachea. Like so. Trachea. Number 3 is over here. Let's do the lung. Like so. Oh, that's really fallen over. Lung. Number 4. let's do the stomach for this one. 5. We are going to do the rectum. 6. Let's do the kidney. 7. We are going to do the thymus gland up here. Number 8. Let's do the bladder, but I don't want to pop it because it helps that it's all full for them. So we're going to do that right there. Bladder. Number 9. What else can we do? Let's ask them, let's give them the liver for an easy one. Liver. And number 10. There's number 10. We can do the large intestines. All right, so there is our dissected rat. He's ready to go for their practical. So I'm going to just wet some paper towels and lay it on top of them, one, so they can't see it, but also that's gonna help keep our rat hydrated so that he doesn't start kind of dulling out on us. You'll see how dull they get when I show you all this one. But that's this one. Let's go get this wet. Get some wet paper towels. All right, that one is done. Let's move along to our second one. So I'm not going to pin this one up yet. This one's already dissected. This is the one I did with my first group of students to use as the example rat. I'm not going to pin this one up yet because I need it to show my level kids who are dissecting today what to do with the rat. So we're just going to set him up and pin him open right now. Let's get him a little closer so we can see. So now I dissected this rat on Monday and it is now Wednesday. And I'm pretty shocked with how well he is holding up considering it's been 3 days. But the goal is he'll hopefully still be good for tomorrow, which is the last day of practicals. Because I'm on the block schedule, we've got to do everything 2 days in a row. So let's get home skillets all open here. And we are going to ask different structures for this one compared to that one. Some may repeat, like some of the easier ones, but like I think I'll probably do the ears for this one. So like let's pull out his little ear so that they can see it. We'll do the ear. For this one, we'll probably do the diaphragm. We did not do the heart on that one, or the esophagus, small intestines. We didn't do spleen or pancreas on that one, or anus. Yes, and then I obviously have 2 males here, so I'm not gonna ask them to tell me if it's male or female. Most of my classes didn't even see a female because just from random picking, I ended up with all male rats for most of my classes, so we're just not gonna ask them that. I could ask them like, what is this cavity called? Or what's this cavity called? But that's a little more difficult versus I feel like if I have just the 2 rats set up with their numbers, they can walk up, they can tell me quickly, next kid gets a different one. Like it's random which rat they get. And I can always pull the pins if I feel like they are telling each other. So we're going to just leave this one like this. So it is now 8:23. My students come at 8:45 for this class. So we are just going to kind of pick up. So I'm going to take off my gloves, I'm going to take off my apron, and we are going to put in some grades for my level class that did the dissection yesterday and got their points now. So yes. So this is the pre-lab I was talking about. So they basically had to go through and answer and label the rats using the lab manual for this. So I'm just checking to see if my level kids did it. If they did, this can replace their lowest daily grade for them, which is helpful for a lot of children because a lot of them have missing assignments for me. But only if they actually finish the whole thing. I'm not doing partial. It's you did the whole thing, I will drop it. If not, you don't get it. So some of them decided to quit about halfway through the packet. It always cracks me up seeing students who have 100, a perfect 100 in my class, and they still do things like this because they just want to do it, and I'm glad they want to do it. It's just funny to me though. So. All right, now that those are in the grade book, I can officially go call parents and be like, hey, this is what they're ending with. They need to get this on their final if they plan to pass and not repeat biology. So yes, I can say I'm officially done with the grades for my first period. 5 more to go. So it is now 8:37, so I'm gonna go to the restroom. All right, the bell just rung and the kids are coming, so I'll check in with y'all after my level bio class. Alrighty, my 4th period just left and I feel so overwhelmed. Oh my gosh. That was my last class that was like actually doing the dissection part, and for the first time the kids wanted to like dehead the rat and stuff, and I'm like, I was getting so overwhelmed with what they wanted to do with the rats, and like they just wanted to keep dissecting more and more, and I was like, oh my gosh, y'all are freaking me out with it. So it was just a lot to be handling the dissection plus the students who didn't want to be dissecting and were in like the safe zone of like our desk area, but we're done. We did it. So I've got my second rat now that they are done with the pins in it. So I've got 1 through 20. I've got all the body parts separately. So like none of the rats repeat body parts that are pinned. So yes. Also my department chair said he was hopeful to have an update for me by the end of the school day about the whole next year teaching stuff, which is exciting that he potentially can get answers that quickly for me, but I'm taking it as like it's okay if it's not today, because realistically it probably will not be today, but that's okay. So anyways, with my honors kids, when they show up, they're going to turn in their rat pre-lab packet completed. This is 50 points. The other 50 points for their major grade, so this is like worth a test, so it's weighted at 70% of their overall grade. This is half is finishing the pre-lab. The second half is, can you identify the 10 structures I tell you? So like they don't get to just choose which 10. I say, what is this one? And if it's 5 points for each of those correctly. So as soon as they come in class, I'm gonna give them a little bit of time to study. If they wanna look at their actual rat, they can pull it back out and look at it. If not, I've got a video of me and my co-teacher. We went through and pointed out all of the different structures in a video, so I'm gonna play that for them. And then when it's time, they're gonna come up, they're gonna hand me this, I'm gonna check, and then they're going to tell me their things, and I'm going to immediately put it into the grade book, because this is their last grade to know their final 9 weeks grades, to then calculate their semester grade. And they need to know their semester grade for exempting. I've already had students come to me with their forms ready for me to sign saying, hey, I'm exempting biology. And I'm like, I'm not signing anything until I know your semester grade. So I'm trying to be productive during class that I can get all the grades in. So in that regard, I am right now going and writing in their first 9 weeks, second 9 weeks, and their fall final grades, so their semester A final stuff, and then their third 9 weeks grades into a spreadsheet, so that I can just go type in their fourth 9 weeks final grade and it does all the math for me. so that I know you can exempt or you can't exempt. So yes, that is my update. I'm just gonna take a minute I'm gonna finish at least I'm gonna finish my 6 hours spreadsheet of their old grade data, and then I'm gonna probably go and eat my lunch. I have like a Hot Pocket, I think, in the freezer that I can heat up. So yes, we're gonna take a second to just breathe, because 30 kids trying to dissect the rats, and it was just a lot last hour. Like, that was a lot. And I love my students. They love each other a lot. Like, they are all so buddy and want to hang out together and enjoy life. So they sometimes take it at you. So we're gonna breathe, and we're gonna go eat our lunch, and we're gonna finish this spreadsheet. I've got 20 minutes before the kids come, so I'll check in with y'all right before they come to my class. So I just went and prepped all their lab stations. I took away their scissors, so only a probe for today and the pins to be able to pin it open. So like no extra dissecting can happen today. I'm only gonna give them the first 20 minutes of class, and then we're gonna start the practical because it takes kind of a while to get going. So I think I'm ready. I don't know why this part is starting to like get me anxious, because I've been dissecting for 2 days now, but now that it's the practical, part of me feels like, this is something new, but whatever. Yes, I'm gonna pull out my laptop actually, and I'm gonna have my laptop set back there, because that's where we're gonna do the practical. And basically once I call them up to do the practical, they go back to their seats, and they're gonna be working on their final study guide. So yes. Also, bell's about to ring in 2 minutes, so I'm gonna go step to the restroom and be back before the kids. So let's go do that. Alrighty guys, it is now 2:55. I had 2 students come after school to make up their cell transport quiz from the other week. And we're all done for the day. So I packed up my rats, I took all the pins out, and they are good to go. For tomorrow, I'm gonna set them up again. One second. All right, I just had some people come and stop by and chit chat with me, and that's why I left pretty quickly. What was I saying? So I have all the rat stuff is prepped for tomorrow, so their rats are over there. And I'm basically gonna do the same thing I did today for my honors kids tomorrow. So they're gonna take their practicals, and I actually got all of the grades. I got all my grades for 4th, 6th, and 8th completely up to date. Everyone knows where they stand in my class, so that's very nice. And I'm all wrapped up. My department chair came back and chit-chatted with me during 8th period, and he said he's kind of got some things in motion to keep things more so on the side of how I would prefer things to go. I don't really want to talk about it too much because there is so much that could change still. Once I kind of know officially what I'm doing next year, I'll let y'all know, because I'll be excited to know too. But that is kind of a wrap for today. I don't have much else happening. This has been just a very rat heavy week of things to do. And so yes, I think that's everything. So I'm gonna go home and enjoy my evening, because I've graded those 2 quizzes already and put them in the grade book. So I think we're ready to go home. And it's 3:10 right now, and that's why I was saying I was chit-chatting in the hallway. I'm normally gone by now, but let's go head home. And thank y'all so much for following along in this day of my life of rat dissections and everything in biology. And I will see y'all in the next one. Bye.